Dun 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 dun. Hey, it's the BNPR Show, number 8, a celebration of stylized rendering. Today's highlights: EVANGELION, made in Blender, Pixel Art Planet, and the Anime Hair add-on. Switching things around this time, let's start with the news. We have seen the post-production dithering in the last show. This time, at Magrilia, made it real-time viewable in the viewport. You can pick his brain via the link in the show notes. We are sure you can learn something from him. Here are 2 pieces of line art news. LANPR now has documentation. It is still a work in progress, so no images for now, as the user interface keeps getting changes. The LANPR memory leak is now fixed. LANPR used to crash after a few hundred renders as it consumed more RAM with each render. Now that will no longer happen. And from that same tweet, more fixes are coming. Line art will get even better. Studio Kara, the studio behind the production of Evangelion, is really bullish with Blender. FYI, bullish means up to trend in market trading speak. The upcoming Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 is already using Blender in its pipeline. And here are the main reasons why they are switching to Blender. First, they have many subcontractors paying Autodesk licenses, and that is getting unsustainable. Blender has the entry cost of 0, making it a cost solution. When they have switched fully to Blender, the saving from not paying Autodesk can be used to help develop Blender. In fact, they are already funding Blender development right now. Second, Blender has accelerated development compared to Autodesk. Studio Kara can request features for 3ds Max, but that does not guarantee they will have it or get the feature in a timely manner for production. Contrasting that to Blender, when a studio is behind a feature and the community is hyped for it, it will get coded very quickly. With so many developers looking at the production critical code, it will get enhanced thoroughly. Third, Grease Pencil is so powerful that mixing 2D and 3D production is doable right now. This can help with enhancing 3D scenes to give it that 2D hand-drawn feel. You also do not have to have a complex rig because Grease Pencil can fix some of the weird areas. Grease Pencil is the main feature that made them start considering using Blender. Antonio Vasquez, you can be proud of your work. And fourth, community knowledge sharing is so great in the Blender community that not mastering Blender quickly is sort of impossible. We think we are doing that with this show as well. So with all these developments, it's a great time to be a Blender NPR nerd. Encodio Kickstarter is live now. As of this recording, it is 2/3 funded. You can play the demo to get a slice of why we are promoting it. All the characters are very interesting, there's deep world building and awesome NPR artworks. The game is due to come out in late 2020, so that's next year. Let's help fund it, and we can't wait to play the final game. Grease Pencil new features. There are 2 new cleanup operators for Grease Pencil. The first is Merge by Distance operator. This will merge stroke vertices by a set distance. This is a great way to reduce those very dense vertices. The second cleanup tool is the Resample Stroke operator. This will reproduce new vertices by sampling from the original stroke. You can always down sample or up sample. You can test these features right now by downloading the 2.81 test build from blender.org. Tutorials and tricks. Here's a fun tutorial making pixel art from 3D by Wintermute Digital. You can use any model you have. The most important consideration is not having fine details. The aesthetic of good pixel artwork is having the least colors possible. We will use this color ramp with solid colors in the materials. Render setup. Set up the camera to the view you like. Change the render resolution to something small. Set up transparent background by toggling transparent in the film setting in Eevee. The final step is a little post-processing on top. The node setup is very simple. First, scale the rendering image down to 1/5. The Pixelate node will remove the data between the pixels. Then, we scale the image up to the inverse size of how much we scaled down. if we scaled it to 1/5, then the scaling up will be 5. If you animate the model a little, the pixel art will now be alive. There is an old pixel art tutorial on the same topic. Make sure you check that out in the show notes. You can compare how to do it in Blender 2.7 and 2.8. Blender Anime Hair Supporter. This is an add-on to help you with modeling hair from the 2.7 era. Now it is updated to work in Blender 2.8. It might work a little different compared to the 2.7 version, but the fundamentals are still similar. The Duriel provides an English translation to the add-on. Download the add-on from his repo, then install the add-on like normal. You start with a mesh object with only edges. Click the Edge Mesh to Curve button. This will convert the edges to a curve object. Next, click the Add Taper Bevel button. Now the hair has volume. 2 extra objects are added. They are the taper and the bevel curve objects. Right now, you can change the shape of the taper and the bevel. Also, change the radius and the flatness of the hair. One fun thing you can do is add twist and twirl to the hair. Little side note, please be patient with this add-on. Most times the hair rotation is wrong. To solve that, rotate the bevel object to get it right. If you plan your hair design well, you can end up with a very elaborate hairstyle. Okay, here's a hidden contest for you guys. The first person to show us the closest 3D hair model for the anime character Violet Evergarden will win a copy of Soul Stirring Digital Color Mastery ebook. You can use any modeling method. Send your entries to our Twitter at BlenderNPR. We will announce the winner in the next show. Here's another fun NPR tutorial by Feline Entity. How to make an impossible card. There's something in the card, but the card is totally flat from behind. A hidden dimension. Can you guess what the hidden dimension is? Here's the mesh setup. 1. The background. 2. The card. 3. The mask, which is the window mesh from the card. And 4. The hidden object and its hidden background. All objects except for the background is parented to the card. One part you have to pay attention to for the material setup is remember to turn on the backface culling on some of the materials. Next is the hidden dimension part. First, organize the objects into collections so that it is easier to toggle them on or off when we set up the view layer. Second, create 3 view layers. One for the mask collection, one for the hidden object and the hidden background collection, and one for the card and background collection. Activate transparent background in the film settings and press F12. Now assemble the magic. In the compositor, we use the mask view layer as a factor to show the hidden object and its background. And that's pretty much it. With the same technique on different object setups, you can make some mind-bending renders. This can be rendered real-time as well. Can you guess how that's done? We foresee trolling blend files popping up on April Fool's Day with this kind of technique. Oh yeah, and there are more tutorials in the show notes. We just could not insert all of them into the show. Go check them out. There are some ninja tricks hidden in them. NPR Animations. This one is a fun one. A longtime friend of the show, Agu Rex, made this animation. The dance animation is so well done, and we can relate with the ending. Undone. Undone is an upcoming American adult animation series created by Raphael Bob Wicksberg and Kate Purdy, and starring Rosa Salazar. The animation is made in Amsterdam by Submarine, including a 3D team of Blender artists. Undone explores the elastic nature of reality through its central character, Alma. After getting into a near-fatal car accident, Alma discovers she has a new relationship with time and uses that ability to find the truth about her father's death. The show leans heavily on rotoscoping and painting effects. We love the style and can't wait to watch it. Artworks of the Month. Let's celebrate the cool NPR artworks of the month. You can find the direct links to these artworks in the show notes, and maybe pick up some ninja tricks on how they make them. 2D or 3D, we don't really care, as long as it's NPR. At Art of Salgado made his 3D model look like his 2D drawing. Let's hear what he has to say.
Normal 2D drawings, but it's actually not. It's a 3D model that I created in ZBrush, and I found a way to render it so that it looks like my art style in when I draw in real life. So I created some settings that renders it out with a nice thick outline the way I usually draw my stuff. And so regardless of the angle, see through the render, it looks like it was hand drawn.
With strong 2D foundations and 3D skill, you can do anything imaginable. Great job! Welcome to our new viewers. We will be very pleased if you subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about the show as well. To those who clicked the show notes, we have many hidden goodies there. We include stuff we were not able to put into the show, and also go to these links to get even more NPR greatness. If you would like to see the stylized documentary, as mentioned in the 5th show, be one of the cool patrons of the show on Patreon. We need 200 of you to make that happen. And of course, before we go, one last question. Which anime show is already using Blender in their production?